Early. And we are live.
Wow, that's like on the money, 10 o'clock.
Like we're actually on time today.
Holy shit.
This is like a miracle. It's an absolute miracle.
Such freaks.
So we'll see. I mean, we'll give people a little bit of time to get on and
Filter in.
In the meantime, I will have a sip. We're having trouble streaming to your destination as possible. Stream with editor. Oh, okay.
All right. Well,
we tried. We were trying something new today. That's all. Yeah, just to be safe. There we go. All right, we're good. We are on my personal page on Facebook. We're on the Million1 group, and we're on Kevin and Ava page on Facebook.
Not anymore. Oh yeah,
on Facebook and YouTube. So, all right.
So,
are we gonna start or? Good morning, humanity.
There's a few shenanigans this morning.
That's really weird because there's been quite a few times that we go to and instead of saying what we usually say, which is salud for our Mexican friends, I hear in my head shalom. It means peace, though, right?
That's bizarre.
It's the word peace. It means peace.
I believe so, yeah.
But shalom, like, why am I thinking that word? I have no freaking clue. No clue.
So
anyway, it is what it is.
Some of you may have noticed there's been some shifts on social media on our end.
Maybe.
Right?
You might have, yeah.
You might have observed that. We're in the process of doing some streamlining because, I don't know, we own like 8,000 domain names. We can't do them all at the same time.
His fault. Yeah. And there's been lots of pages and groups and things that have been added and used over the years. Some used, some sitting there for years not being used. Mm-hmm. So it was like cleanup time. So I had to go into Facebook and like actually, delete and discard and merge
and whatever.
Oh, geez, what a freaking process. Oh my God. They don't make it easy, let me tell you. They do not make it easy.
So we figure we've got it figured out because we have, and that's why I was keeping on looking over earlier, because we have a new website, believe it or not.
Yet again. Here we go again.
But what it does is it streamlines us.
Yeah.
All right. So just like we have CoffeeTime with Kevin Ava.
Yeah.
The domain is actually kevinandava.com. kevinandava.com.
Pretty easy. It was available. We're the only Kevin and Ava in the world. Apparently.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
So we figured, well, let's take this opportunity to streamline stuff.
Make it easier for
everyone to find us, because
including us.
Because we have several initiatives that we're like super excited and passionate about.
Yeah.
So
you can't spread yourself too thin. Like if you're on too many pages on social media and you have to maintain it all, it's a lot of work. It really is.
So we decided to take this domain and then make it into, certainly for what we do, but it's a resource portal.
Yeah.
And we have a video streaming plugin.
Yeah.
Which is really cool, which I was hoping was going to work today, but we'll have to do some more testing.
Not quite ready. Because those of you who are in the know, you understand that social media can be very limiting at times because they like to do things like censor and banner and shadow ban and, did I say banner? I meant to say ban and shadow ban and delete and, that kind of stuff. So we do need to eventually start merging people over to our own website so that we can stay connected that way as well.
It's a better way to stay connected.
In case, and we need to have that connection.
Yeah.
So we would encourage
if
you
you're
all.
excited about what we're doing.
If you like what we do,
Yeah.
if you're here, I would like to believe it's because we're offering you some value, which is what we're trying to do. So guess what? Oh, it didn't work. Oh, there it is. I want to show you something. That is our new website right there in the banner. If you can see that on the screen, kevinandava.com. Very simple.
Pretty simple.
Super easy to remember. And same with Coffee Time with Kevin and Ava. It's just very simple. So if you could go there and put your email in, that would really help us to stay in touch with you.
Right. So the way it's set up right now is it's just a landing page, right? Yeah. As I work on the back end to try and get these different lanes. So we have 5 different channels that are going to be available on kevinandava.com.
Yeah.
5 different channels. So the first channel is obviously the coffee times, right? Because that's super important now.
Obviously.
Super important. So coffee times is one of them. The next one is one that we've mentioned several times now on this coffee time, and that is called the Heavy Shit Club.
Dun, dun, dun.
So the Heavy Shit Club is actually a very special lane because this is where Ava and I do the bulk of our
work,
transformative work.
Yeah. Because we're transformational specialists, right?
Yeah, we've been known to help people.
We've been known to do that, kick people's asses a little bit.
And people that we've helped have known that we've helped.
Yeah, a little bit.
So the Heavy Shit Club is going to have its, I want to say, entrance point there as a channel. Yeah. So anything that we put up with regards to the Heavy Shit. Now the thing is that the Heavy Shit Club.
So will it be Kevin and Ava / Heavy Shit Club?
No. So the Heavy Shit Club is a channel inside kevinandava.com.
Okay. Let's keep it brief because I'm sure that people don't need all the technical details.
No, but I'm just
the way that Kevin's brain works.
No, but I'm just trying to explain.
Okay.
Right, what people are going to be able to expect when this homepage goes live. So you're going to be able to access 5 different channels that are us. Okay, so everything that we're doing right now in and for the planet and for humanity, you will be able to find here.
Yeah. That's the long and short of it.
It's long and short of it. So there'll be 5 options for you to choose, and they will then correspond to some of the social media channels that you do see and maybe are a part of.
Yeah.
So
another way of looking at it is we have multiple personality disorder. Mm-hmm. And so in order for us to bring that into a very aligned, streamlined space, we had to create one website that had everything in it. So all of our personalities,
it's easier for me on the back end.
Because all of our personalities aren't satisfied when we're spread out too thin and we're trying to maintain all these different domains.
Yeah, it makes it easier on the workflow for sure. So we have the coffee times, we have the Heavy Shit Club.
Yeah.
Right now we have what's called Healing Intentions sessions, which is Ava's mediumship. Good morning, Sabra.
Hi, Sabra. Oh my God, it's so nice to see you.
Healing Intentions is going to be changed. We believe the name's going to be changed. Tune in. Yeah. Tune in with Ava because that's a little more appropriate.
Kevin wants to change. He just tells me last night after I've had this term Healing Intentions. I've been using it for almost my entire career. So 20 years, right? And so he just tells me last night, after 18 years of marriage, he tells me, I don't really like it.
Okay, so let's put context to this other than making me look like an ass.
And I'm just you could have told me a little sooner, couldn't you? What the hell?
No, but it's a new name is more appropriate now because it's specifically with regards to her mediumship. Okay, so it's going to be probably tune in.
I know somebody else that's watching right now who's a little bit of a medium too, but we won't mention any names.
So that's 3 so far, right? I think 3. And then we've got the infamous Union of Humanity project and platform, which some of you have heard about and some of you are on.
Good morning, Nelda. Good morning. Oh, Saber caught on to what I just said.
So. Yeah. So the Union of Humanity will have a place there, and that's something that we can share then more public kind of information about the union, because the union is a private place.
Yeah.
As is technically the Heavy Shit Club.
Yeah. But we can go more into that stuff another time.
And we will. We'll do one of these coffee times where we sort of flesh each of these. And the last one, which is something that Ava has been nurturing for some time on Facebook, is called the Rebel Epileptic.
The Rebel Epileptic.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been a private group on Facebook for like 5 years. So
and the purpose of that group is to
help educate people who are dealing with seizures, which everybody's just called epileptic pretty much. We're all epilepsy. But anyway, to help people to learn how to manage and treat such things naturally.
Imagine that.
Not by just complying and just shut up and take the drugs, which is what I've been told to do multiple times by multiple neurologists that I have since fired. I mean, but yeah, so that's what it's about.
Those are the 5 channels
Yeah.
within this. Now we're just in the process of setting up and linking live stream capacity.
Yeah.
So when you join kevinandava.com, you will be able to get notified of if one of those channels is going live. But then you'll also have access to all of the previously recorded coffee times or any other content
podcasts we've done over the last 10
even
years.
Some of the old archives in our database.
We've done some good interviews. I mean, we weren't consistent as far as like going like at a set time every week and like that sort of thing. But when we did do interviews, they were decent interviews. You know, so for the last 10 years,
and just so people know, and I don't know if we have access to any of these, but back in 2015-16, we were actually on a global platform called Conscious Consumer Network.
Oh yeah, right.
And we used to have on average about 160,000 viewers.
Yeah, we did.
Live.
I don't even know where those interviews are. I don't know where they are.
I'm not sure if we have.
But anyway, if we can find them, we'll throw them up there. And if not, it doesn't matter because we're creating new things.
Something new.
Creating new.
So we'll put up what we can find.
And new content. And, you know, it's about creating new, Kevin. It's about the future.
It is.
Yeah.
Because we want to be defined by a vision of the future.
Yeah, not
just the stories of the past.
Yeah. Too many of us get caught up in the stories of the past. Which brings us to our topic for today. Now, I was going to go and find that song on Spotify, which I know I have saved on my Spotify playlist for 90s dance tunes. But you know the song, you guys, from Hadaway, isn't that what they were called? Hadaway, I think was the band. What is love? Baby, don't hurt me.
She's a much better singer than I am.
No more, not really. But anyway, so there's your little musical interlude to the topic today. What is love? And I'd love to have your comments in the comment stream. I'd love to know what your
We would love to know.
We would love to know what you think.
Love for us right now is what your thoughts are.
Yes, we would love to know that.
But I also wanted, like, gratitude is also wrapped into this because there's several really big emotions that are sort of in and around the same vibe, and that's love, gratitude, and compassion. Right? They're all sort of tied in together.
Same sort of frequency.
Yeah, similar frequencies.
Yeah.
So I want to express much gratitude for people that are here right now watching us live.
Yeah.
But also for those folks that don't catch us live and watch us at another time that's more convenient to them.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you so much for
we appreciate
taking this in.
Totally.
100% we appreciate it.
We get such nice messages, you guys. Like, seriously, the comments I thought was all that there was, but no, we get these private messages of people saying, thank you for doing the coffee times. I'm really getting a lot of value out of it.
And we know that sometimes just talking about subjects
helps.
that people don't normally talk about at parties.
Nice, Kevin.
It's true. That simple discussion and acknowledgement, even within yourself, can shift that for people.
Yeah.
And, you know, we've had several clients over the years where when we get involved and deep into a detailed personal history, and it's literally just a dialogue, And sometimes it takes, I don't know, 3, maybe even 4 hours, however long it takes in order to get down into the nitty-gritty. But just the conversation and the questions that we are able to ask, right, helps to shift energy.
Oh, you know what I love?
Not the limitations.
Speaking of love, you know what I love is when we are talking to people like clients or potential clients, like if they're just discussing, you know, the possibility of hiring us. Just talking to them, you know, they'll have this like consultation with us, okay? And they'll come with this issue, and people always think they know what the issue is, right? So let's just say, for instance, someone comes to us and they're like, you know, I don't know, I just can't make enough money. And they think that's their problem. Well, then Kevin and Ava come in and we ask certain questions, right? And we are, plus, you know, if you're really highly intuitive, you can kind of see beyond the veil anyway, and you can cut right into the core of what a real issue is. And then all of a sudden, we're asking them when they decided that they weren't lovable. And it's like, tears. Usually tears start. It's like, no, what are you talking about? No, I just came here to ask how I can make more money. It's like, no. This goes way deeper than that. Way deeper than that. So we have found that a lot of people have this exact same issue. We'll wrap it up into it is an emotion, right? Or disconnection with an emotion, and a limiting belief, both. Okay. We have found most people, I can't say 100%, but I would say 99.9%.
Well, or they have some variation of it,
but feeling not worthy of love. I don't deserve love.
Or I don't love myself.
I'm not worthy. Or yes, and that's,
I'm not good enough.
Or I can love other people, but this concept of loving myself, like, no.
We have to qualify this because it's not about a narcissistic love.
No.
Right? This is about self-acceptance more than anything.
Yeah.
Because when we get into the idea of, is this a Kevin teaching moment?
Hold it. Everyone. This is a Kevin teaching moment. So whatever you're doing, stop.
Take friggin' notes.
Pay attention. Okay, Kevin, now you may proceed.
But when we get into the nitty-gritty regarding self-love, what? I'm glad that coffee did not end up all over the computer and the screen and the phone and the camera and me and the microphone.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Yeah, you did. Totally did.
Okay, I'll stop now.
No, you won't. I'll just sit here and drink my coffee till things calm down.
Okay, that hurts. All right. Yep, we're good. Oh dear. Alrighty then. That's enough of that. Oh, and by the way, you guys, you can share this. You can actually share this on your page to get more people to come in and watch. Just
I don't know anything about it.
Because it's not on any private groups. It's all open public groups. So if you share it, other people can see it and they can join the conversation as soon as I get over my little giggle fest here. All right.
Cow. Glad I'm wearing a t-shirt.
The energies, you guys, lately, I don't know if you guys are tuned into that, but whoa, are they ever strong? Because I'm feeling so much coming in, like so much, and not in a bad way, but just whoop, whole lot. Whoop. I just feel so much more open. We'll get into that after Kevin has his teaching moment. Okay, so now we will go back to where we were. Kevin having his teaching moment. Okay, everybody, pay attention, like good little students.
Close attention.
Okay, go ahead. I'll stop now.
I'm not saying nothing until I finish drinking coffee.
I'm done.
Okay.
I'm done.
Hey, Marianne. Good to see you here.
Good morning, Marianne.
So, okay, so into some knowledge, wisdom, maybe, whatever you want to call it. The concept of self-love is actually tied very, very closely to self-forgiveness.
What?
Okay, it is. Because if you're in a state where you believe that you're not lovable or not good enough, then the way to that point where you have self-acceptance is to understand that you, just like everyone else on this crazy planet, is doing the best they can with the resources that they have.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yep.
So when we get our heads and our minds and our hearts into this concept that we're only doing the best we can at any one moment in time.
You got to get your heads out of your asses, you guys. Like,
right?
You just got to
pull them out, okay? Or your finger, whatever it is, and get your mind and heart into this idea that you're only doing the best you can with what you have.
Right.
And when we dig into that, a lot of times self-forgiveness, but also forgiveness of others, which we've talked about at length here on these little chats that we have.
Yep.
It's important that we get in this because right now the focus is on you. Okay, so go look in the mirror and tell yourself, first of all, you're going to take the boxing gloves off because that's what we normally do. We go and sit in the mirror. We look in the mirror.
Oh, look at my act. Oh, I've got a pimple. Oh, I wish I didn't have that scar. Oh, the bags under my eyes.
It's really cool
look
because
at the wrinkles. Oh.
Yeah. So we self-judge that way
all the time.
But
women are the worst for
everything that about us, brings us to where we are, but we're only doing the best we can with the resources that we have: mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, financial, geographical, cultural, familial, etc. Okay.
Interesting.
Etc. Etc.
Oh, I don't know. You know what? I might have to cut my hair. It's just
what? You mean I'm going to have longer hair?
No,
you know what's really funny?
That's the only reason I won't cut it right now is because.
Okay, so when you do that, take the gloves off.
Yeah.
Go and look in the mirror and tell yourself that you're only doing the best you can with the resources that you have. And see what that does to you emotionally.
That, you know what that is? That's also self-compassion, right? Like you're giving yourself compassion. Like we're actually a lot better at giving these things to other people, right? Than we are for ourselves. And that's just like, that's ass backwards, honestly.
It's ass backwards, as we know.
That is ass backwards.
It's ass backwards.
It needs to work the other way, right? Because it's kind of like when we have this conversation about, transforming the planet, how are we going to create this new world that we need? Because, let's face it, I'll have a little more actually.
Oh yeah, cool.
Yeah.
That's touch good. This time?
A touch, yeah, that's good. Stop.
Inside joke.
But I mean, seriously, if we truly want to create a new world, okay, and we don't want to continue this same cycle that we've been in for millennia now, I suppose, at least hundreds and hundreds of years, then we have to create something different, right? But you can't create something better, right, than what we currently have if you're going to stay in the mindset that created that other system, right? Or that other way of life or that other programming, So
I'm shutting the heater off. Holy cow.
Kevin's getting hot. Sun's shining on him, See, that's why I told you he runs hot. He's like a freaking furnace, man. Like, that's why I can't have him touching me. Like, whoo. Anyway, but I mean, we can't. Oh, that's right. That's going to change the whole sound as well of the show.
Excellent.
Yeah. Anyway, yes, you're right, Marianne. We have earned our gray hairs, have we not? Like, look at me. Hello.
But that's a mindset.
I've got lots of white hair, if that's actually what it's from. But Marianne says, you have to love yourself before you can love another. Well, it's true. To genuinely, unconditionally love another, I would say giving love to others is possible. It is. It's just, it might be coming from a very limited state of mind, right? Which kind of changes it a little bit. It changes the frequency, I would say, of it. But a lot of times what I found is that people who have a hard time struggle with loving themselves, they end up over loving some people outside themselves, right? Because they're seeking it so bad. They're seeking that love so bad that they're just desperate for it, right? And in that desperation, they will oftentimes choose the wrong partner, right? Or the wrong friendship relationship or what have you, but they're so desperate for that feeling of love, feeling loved, that they will do that, and they will just pour their love out to other people, or what they perceive as love, which oftentimes comes in different forms, like material things, like they'll buy them things, like spend money on stuff, and like, oh, look, I'm giving you this, I'm giving you this, I'm giving you this.
Or there's underlying unspoken expectations within a family group, within a society, within a whatever that you're a part of, that you feel obligated then to engage in order to receive love. So for example,
because
familial,
there's a love equals this, or
if you're in a family, and I mean, just think about this in relation to your own upbringing, or what you've witnessed.
What was the definition of love in your family?
But you have a concept of, oh my goodness, I better, clean up my room, and I better do my dishes, do the dishes, and help fold the laundry and stuff, and then dad will love me, or and then mom will love me, or fill in the blanks, right?
Yeah. Because you're pleasing.
So we're trying to please someone that we're trying to get love from.
Yeah.
That it should be fucking unconditional to start with. Right? Where an unconditional love signature from a parent means that they're accepting the child as they are.
Yeah.
Right? Without having to go and get that approval, even if it's at an energy level approval.
Yeah. Because
the parent never gives it, or whatever.
And Marianne makes a good point. I'm going to share what Marianne says here. I grew up always seeking approval, but my grown children taught me that I don't need anyone's approval. It's true.
What can your children teach you? That's awesome. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But here's the thing, though. On that, we have to then accept and forgive our parents, because it's not like
they're only doing the best they can with what they have.
Right. With the resources that they had at the time.
At any time.
Right. So they didn't come into this going, I'm going to deprive my children of love. Right. Or I'm going to make my children believe that if they want my love, then they're going to follow my orders, and they're going to live the way I want them to live.
Because in order to exist in this family, this is what we have to do.
That's what you do.
All of us get dressed up and go to church on Sunday.
That's right.
Or we all go to the mosque 16 times a day.
Yeah.
Or fill in the blank. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Right? Yep. I mean, when you just do a hindsight analysis of your living environment when you grew up, you'll start to see all of these patterns. And a lot of times we end up perpetuating those.
Yes.
As child, or we
unconsciously,
we do the exact opposite.
Yeah, and even those of us who, like, for instance, I made a concerted effort. I was very aware of it. I was such a deep feeling child from my whole life, as far as I know. Like, I always just craved love, and I craved that attention, and that, so for me, I learned from a young age, if I want to get that feeling of love, if I want to feel loved and admired or adored by be it family or anyone. Actually, I took the love from anybody I could get it from, you know, and I don't mean sexually. Please don't think that I was a little, you know, floozy or something, because I wasn't. But I mean, I would just get love wherever I could, right? And so I learned from a very young age that if I wanted to feel that feeling, what I perceived as love back then, which I now understand is not what it was. Mm-hmm. But I mean, if I wanted that feeling, well, then I achieved, right? Mm-hmm. The way that I got that feeling of love is I achieved. I did well in sports, and I got that sort of notoriety from being a good athlete. You know, at the time I used to be a singer, and I got that sort of attention by being a singer, being a soloist. You know, going to the music festival, winning awards, being a wedding singer at one point, you know, that kind of stuff, right? So being in front of the room, you know, so I learned very quickly that I would get my love from those kinds of places, activities. Right? And those kinds of activities, mm-hmm. you know, and when I
you were also told something very disgusting by your father, shall I say, when we were getting ready to get married.
Oh yeah. Remember that? Yeah. Well, this is what I mean. Like, because you guys know the story now of Kevin and I, how we met and stuff. Mm-hmm. And it was very quick. And you just don't do that stuff. You just don't do that stuff.
Especially online. Oh my goodness. Why can't you just meet someone here in this town?
Well, and he even said that too, that if you're meeting someone online, then they're all like murderers and like, you know, like pedophiles and oh my God, it was terrible. But anyway, the point is, what did he say to me again? You have to remind me.
You are the biggest disappointment of my life.
Of my life. Yeah, my life. No, that was when I quit university that he said that to me.
That was when he came to see you at your house prior to me showing up.
No, it was when I quit university.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Either way, you've heard it.
But that's when I really got the idea that, like if I don't follow along with what my father or my family thinks I'm supposed to do, well, then I'm going to be deprived of that love. That was the first time I really got that, like really, you know, when I quit university, you know, because it was like, you were the one. And I was like, I don't know what I was the one for. But anyway, and then, yeah, that's when he said that to me then. You're the biggest disappointment of my life. Okay. Didn't know I was living my life to, you know, make you happy. Mm-hmm. But anyway, I don't care. I'm quitting university.
Apparently he thought that you were
the one.
So I want, like Marianne brings up something here. Everyone has faults, and what you do and what you do and learn from those faults. So again, I want us all that are listening to this right now to be very cognizant of our language.
Yeah.
Okay, because our language that we use, even in something as simple as a statement like this, is a reflection of where our mindset is at any one moment in time, because we believe that there's no such thing as failure.
Yeah.
It's only feedback, and it might be feedback that we don't enjoy, but it's just feedback. So to label something success, failure, is then a perception, good, bad, high, low.
Yep.
Right?
That's right.
Etc. So it's just, so let's be very, very honest with ourselves about how we perceive things, because to say that we on, and I'm sorry, Mary, I'm picking on you because
you're the one that's saying the most right now.
That's right. But it's okay, because everyone needs to learn, right?
That's right.
So when we have a perception that something might be a fault, that means that then there is perfection somewhere, right?
That you're not achieving. Yeah.
So what we do is then if we, it's a burden. Yeah. That's another huge one.
Yeah.
And fucking parents right now.
Yeah.
You guys got to get your heads out of your asses, because if you're projecting out that your family is a burden to you, because you have to go and provide. You have
to take care of them.
Who brought them onto this planet?
Yeah. And the reality is, because Marianne notices, she's noting here that she was told by her father she was a burden in his life. Well, you know what? You don't even have to be told that.
That's right, because you can feel it.
You can feel it. Mm-hmm. You can feel when you're a burden to somebody. Absolutely, 100%.
No, it's true. Yeah. And again, if we have that introspection at whatever stage it shows up in life, then we can then appropriately sort of unpack those events in our own lives. But again, when we think about things in terms of qualities where we would have a fault and we would have perfection, if we just stick things into the idea that, and join us on this concept, because this is about a mind shift and saying, well, there is no such thing as failure, folks. No such thing as failure. And we've talked about this before, because when everything in your life brings you to this moment in time right now.
Yeah.
Even those things that you would label as failures
in
or
the
faults
moment.
in the moment, or even maybe in hindsight, but you're only doing the best you can with what you have at any one moment in time.
Yeah.
But shift the narrative. And this is what we're going to be sort of encouraging everyone that sort of follows us and follows these little chats, is to start changing the narrative. We need to start changing your narrative. We have to start changing the narrative that we are used to within society.
Yeah.
Because when we shift that and we shift our focus now into the fact and the idea that there is no failure. Mm-hmm. It's only feedback. So what feedback do you enjoy? What feedback needs to get? What is it about that feedback that you need to adjust in order to get something that you want, or be in a place where, you'd rather be? So.
Thank you, Teacher Kevin.
Okay, that was another moment. We didn't preface that. Sorry.
We didn't preface that with Kevin's little.
Anyway, it just goes. That's the way these conversations are. But we have to think.
No, but the thing. Here's the thing. Okay, I understand you. I understand how you feel if you did feel deprived of that love growing up, or if you still do, right? And when I say deprived of that love, and I don't mean just the love from your parents or family members or some other person outside of you. I mean, if you felt deprived of that self-love, I spent so many years of my life feeling that way. And oh my goodness, now I think, of course I can judge it and say, oh, what a waste, which is part of what actually, pushes us, right? Because we would love to shorten that trajectory of suffering for people.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't have to be that way, right? We don't have to go through life feeling unloved, right, of ourselves, right?
And see, this is part of the, and this is why we just needed to bring everything together under Kevin and Ava.
Yeah.
Because what we're discussing right now.
Because that's everything we're about anyway.
Right. What we're discussing right now is literally the Heavy Shit Club.
And it's also Rebel Epileptic.
Yeah.
Because I'm using all of these same sort of tools and information to want to help people who are struggling with chronic disorders like epilepsy to be able to understand that there's an emotional component. There is an emotional component to all of these chronic disorders that we think are physical, right? But there's way more to it than that. There's way more to it than that. Like, for instance, the other day I did a consultation with a gal that came through my Rebel Epileptic group. And she just had some questions, and she wanted to understand better because she's new to having epilepsy, this lady. And we had a long conversation. But here again, she came to me wanting to understand more about, what she could do better to maybe prevent the seizures, or is there a diet that she could do, or what am I doing? How are we dealing with it? Blah, blah, blah. So she came to me with that in mind, thinking that we were just going to discuss epilepsy and having seizures. And another situation, right, where it came down to when did you decide that you don't love yourself? And it was like tears, you know. And it's like, I'm sorry, but you know, this isn't, you can't just go and fix the stuff outside of you, like change your diet and things like this. I mean, those things are all good. Sure. They're great.
Part of the puzzle.
They're all part of the puzzle, right? But if you aren't willing to look deep and see what's really going on deep inside, right? Which is part of what's running. Well, it's a huge part of what's running the show here.
Yeah.
Like, you got to deal with that. I said, because of course I was cluing into this based on our conversation, and you know, of course, my intuition came in, and you know, in this case, her recently deceased husband actually came through, so I had to share a couple things. But the thing is that if you're giving so much of yourself to other people, right, because you don't feel loved and you don't love yourself, then you actually are putting yourself in a situation where you are harming yourself.
You're depleting
your own energy because you're giving constantly, and hoping that you're going to get that in return, right? You're going to get that love in return. Now they'll love me. You know, I'm going to cook the best meals every day, and I'm going to do it every day. And then my family's going to appreciate me.
Because we have a nasty habit, us humans, of making mental equal signs in our head.
Right.
Or if only.
Or if I deprive myself of taking care of me and I give everything that I have to taking care of him or her or them, well, then I'm going to feel loved, right? Unfortunately, it doesn't always work.
So what you've just said here, Marianne, is critical. And thank you for saying it, because this is the unconditionality that is required of ourselves towards other people, but it's also towards ourselves. Right? Unconditional. That's the acceptance. So that's why when we tie in all of these concepts of there's no such thing as failure, we're only doing the best we can with what we have, right? That we can then come to a place of acceptance of who we actually are, stand in our truth of that. And that's the energy that helps to shift this planet. And that's what we're about, right? Is as many people as we could possibly assist in helping to do that, because this is what this planet and this species needs right now.
What?
It needs people to start shifting into this mindset of self-acceptance, unconditional love.
Yeah, for sure. Because it raises our frequency.
That raises our frequency, but it also raises collective frequencies.
Absolutely.
Which is critical. Absolutely critical.
You know, my mom used to say about certain family members, I have to love them, I love her, but I don't have to like her. You know? You've
probably said that to yourself or about someone that's close to you.
Well, we always say these things, you know? And I mean, I wonder though, was that true love? I mean, was that true unconditional love? She was talking about one of her own children. I have to love her, but I don't have to like her. And she did not like her. With good reason, I will say, with very good reason. But
let's ask this question.
Who says you have to love anyone?
But let's ask this question then.
You know,
does biology equal obligation?
Dun, dun, dun.
Does biology equal obligation? Because I'm sure I'm not the only one, especially listening to this or out there, that feels that they did not belong. Has anyone ever felt, especially within a group or
I think anybody that's probably listening to this podcast, they're probably a little bit of that
have had these experiences
yeah.
of saying, holy shit, like,
yeah.
I just
be a little different.
Don't friggin' belong here. Like, what's going on? Was I adopted at birth, or like, what's the point here? Like, I don't get it.
Yeah, we've touched on that before.
You know?
Yeah.
And when we look at these things, it's important for us to come to terms with what that means, because sometimes just like what Ava just said about, I love her, but I don't have to like them.
Yeah.
Right. We are looking at things as a very cut and dried biology equals obligation.
Yeah.
Simple. Right. I was born into this family, therefore I'm obligated to the family.
Or
yet, what if we take it
don't. We can't go deeper. We don't have enough time to go deeper on that subject.
Okay, next time.
Yeah, we can save that for another time.
Next time. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Like you're thinking like soul contracts and stuff like that.
Yeah. Like, oh yeah.
We do make soul contracts.
Anyway, it's just a question.
Yeah. 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 But I mean, I don't know. I guess maybe I'm coming from a different place because of all the experience I've had working with people. We both have had.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, also my own experience, right, with my own family, and it is possible to still love people that hurt you. It is possible, but again, love doesn't equal I need to be in relationship with them.
Or love doesn't equal I'll only love them if they apologize to me.
Yeah.
Right. So that I can forgive them.
Yeah.
Right. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
The energy you put out in the field is what you're going to get.
Yeah.
So why deprive yourself of the freedom of internal, personal, and otherwise forgiveness, right? Yeah. Which translates into I'm only doing the best I can with what I have, as is everyone else. Therefore, I can love myself for who I am.
And that's really what it's about. It's really what it's about. But I'm telling you, like I had a conversation with an old friend last night, and who popped in and wanted to chat over Messenger. But anyway, I mean, she was telling me how she's had these realizations, like that she's realized she really is strong and resilient, and because she went through a boot camp this summer, like literally a boot camp, and she realized that she's really strong. And I'm going, well, yeah, I've always said, like, I've always believed you were strong, like that's always been there. But then but not when it comes to love, like relationships, like not when it comes to relationships. I just, and my immediate response to her was, oh, so you're still struggling with that self-love piece, eh? Oh my God, yes, that's what it is. Oh, it's like, well, when is going to be a good time for you to finally work through that? Because it's not the first time I've mentioned this to her. I mean, many years ago too. Mm-hmm. But you got to be willing to invest in yourself, right? Like until you're ready to invest in yourself and to learn to like connect with that ability to love yourself, you're going to, again, like we've already said, you're going to go and you're going to try to pour all of this out, this what you perceive as love out to somebody else. But guess what? You're going to do it in vain most often. I mean, sometimes people really luck out and they find that person that really does teach them how to love and how to love themselves and how to like value themselves. Sometimes that happens in relationships. I would say that we definitely lucked out because we were lacking in this real ability to love ourselves when we met. So I guess there was something else that was bringing us together. There was a bigger plan at play here, right? And that can happen. But most often, whatever you, like Kevin said, whatever you project out into the field at an unconscious level. Okay. This doesn't mean you're going around consciously saying, I don't love myself, therefore. No, you're not even aware oftentimes that you don't love yourself, right? Because again, a lot of people don't want to go to that deep, deep level and realize that which they're experiencing in their lives that they're unhappy with, a lot of times comes down to things like, I don't love myself, or I'm not worthy of love. Right. So unless you're willing to do that work, you're going to keep putting it out there at an unconscious level, and you will continue to attract those people into your life that oftentimes are going to show you, right, how much you don't love yourself.
Yep.
Right. They're going to oftentimes come into your life and show you, or they're going to come into your life and they're going to be just like you, unable to love themselves, therefore unable to truly love someone else. And then it's just like, like then you create this whole mess.
So as a challenge for yourself, not for me, but for yourself, go to theheavyshitclub.com.
Yeah.
Put your email in. All right. Do the little, like, I'm a human process or whatever it's asking you to do. Verify your friggin' email. And then you're going to start getting one email a week, okay, with challenges. So that you can start digging into some of these ideas that you may be carrying around.
Yeah. And that's the free portion of the Heavy Shit Club. So take advantage of it.
Yeah.
Kevin's really excited to be doing this. This is something we've talked about for so many years. That's finally coming to fruition because we don't have to depend on other people to fill that technological gap that we were missing. You know, the technical piece that he has now taught himself so that we can get this shit done. Literally get this shit done. So it's finally happening. Thank God.
So go there, have some fun.
Yeah.
Right. I've got some videos attached to some of the emails.
But like we said earlier, we need to have that connection with you anyway, outside of the social media scene. I mean, we're still going to be here for a while for sure, but we need that outside connection just in case, because I even saw last night that Facebook is updating their policies on January 1st.
You can opt out of the policies. No problem.
But it has an effect on your ability to be. It didn't say that, Kevin. I haven't gotten there yet.
You know that's what they mean because it happened to me on something else.
I just started reading through this new policy, and the first thing that it said is that you're going to have to accept that Facebook has control over you even if you're logged out. And I was like,
what?
I just stopped.
The fuck?
And I was like, did I read that wrong? So I read it again, and then I read it to Kevin, and it was like,
you will conduct yourself. Well, you know what?
This is really weird.
Okay,
so the reality is this, okay? Please do yourselves and do us a favor and at least go to kevinandava.com and sign,
one of those sites.
And put your email in, please, so that we at least have that connection outside of Facebook. Trust me, I don't trust all these social media platforms completely. Now, will I use them right now to leverage, right? And to like gain traction and stuff for the other stuff that we're doing in our lives? Absolutely. And at the same time, we're super aware of the fact that they have far too much control. And so we want to get people over to our websites, right? Over to our website. So
Marianne actually brings something up that we may chat about on a different episode because
it's so true, Marianne. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So I want people to be very, very aware of the language that they're using.
Something in life that has done damage to them, no one is spared. I've yet to meet someone that has not had some kind of hurt, right? That they experienced in their lives at some point.
But it's our perception of that creates our reality. All right. So let's be very clear about this.
It's how we hold
the perception of what has happened to us.
Yes.
The question then I have to ask is, do you want you to happen to life, or do you want life to happen to you?
Yes, because
this gets into post-traumatic stress. Okay, this is what this does. This pushes us into that topic, which we won't talk about today.
No, we don't have time for that.
Post-traumatic, what?
Kevin's been waiting the whole time to do that. He's really wanted to do that. Like, he's such a weirdo, you know? Like, he is. Total weirdo.
Yeah, I love it.
Jeez. But here's the thing, okay? Let me speak for a moment. Shut the hell up for a minute. Right? Honest to God, the guy doesn't say anything, and then when he starts talking, you can't get him to shut up. But anyway, what I would say to you, because this is my inner craniosacral therapist coming out, okay? My somato-emotional release training and experience coming out, which is the hands-on work, okay? So somato-emotional release is like this beautiful combination of hands-on work and working at an energy level in the field, you know, working emotionally with people. Like, it really is a beautiful combination of that. And because of that because of that, in my clinical work in the past, I've had some great experiences working with people, and I've had some, honestly, what I would say are sad experiences, because there's been times where, and because we're talking about love, this is why I'm going to share this story. I had a client years and years ago back in New Brunswick who came to me, and she was diagnosed with cancer. Okay. She had cancer of her, well, it started in like her girly parts, right? Ovaries, uterus, whatever, cervix, whatever it started at, somewhere down in her sexual organs. Okay. So, anyway, so she had cancer that was spreading. Okay. So it was metastatic cancer. And so she came to me, honestly, she came to me for, just basic body work. She was having back pain or something like that with the cancer and stuff, and so forth. So here I am with my hands on her, and I'm tapping into the deeper layers of herself, which are the emotional pieces, right? And so we did get into a conversation. And if I remember correctly, she also had a loved one who had crossed over to the other side that had come and joined the session with us. So anyway, here I am. I'm treating her. Again, she came to me for more of a physical treatment. This happens all the time. And I went there because I was getting the message, you got to talk to her about this. Like, she needs to acknowledge this. I was picking up on the fact that she had been abused. She had been sexually abused as a child.
No energetic connection there to private parts.
Yeah.
At all.
So anyway, so we had this conversation, and she obviously got emotional, and we discussed it. And I have a hard time. I've had a hard time saying things to people because I understand the power of the mind, so it has been a bit of a quandary I have found over the years, where I know all these things about people and I feel all these things, I should say, with people. And then you go, well, how much do you want to say to them? Because their mind can grab a hold of that and make it so. Okay. So I tried to be very careful, and I had the same situation with my mom. You do realize that's coming through as the man in charge saying that.
No, okay. It's coming through as Kevin and Ava as well.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, okay. Long story short, I'm tapping into all these emotions, and I'm talking to them with her. Talking to her about them, and I just had to say this to her because I could see. Right? Like, I'm not one of these psychics that likes always predicting the future and shit. Like, I don't really do that. But once in a while, I can feel or I can see something that's going to happen if a person doesn't do a particular thing. Okay. So I actually did say to her, I said, are you willing to go there? Like, are you willing to heal that aspect of yourself? Because I do believe it is a huge root cause for why you're experiencing this cancer. And I really feel that it could make a huge difference in your potential healing and recovery, if we were to go there and let that go. Because what happens is when I have the hands on their body, I can also feel the physical release as they're dealing with the emotion at the same time. And it was super sad to me and very unfortunate, because she was honest, though. She said, no,
can't go there.
I can't go there. I cannot go there. That was such a painful, traumatic time in my life and experience, because I believe it was a family member who did it to her. And she said, I cannot go there. Oh, now that I recall, that family member, I believe it was a grandfather. And he was the spirit that was in the room, and he was actually there to try to help her heal it, because he wanted and apologize.
That's when you'll get the apologies, folks.
Yeah. And
when they're on the other side.
But you know what? She couldn't she just could not go there. God bless her. And I knew what was going to happen. And she did end up succumbing over the next it was a few months later. She succumbed to the cancer, too young to be dying. Like, honestly, like, she was way too young. She had children. It was really sad, but she just wasn't ready to go there. And in that case, right, the reason I bring it up is because what it actually came down to is she was so disconnected from that self-love, right, that she couldn't muster up that self-love enough in order to allow herself to go to that place, right, and heal that peace, which I really feel strongly, even at the time, it would have probably saved her life, because it was that powerful. Like, it truly was. But you know what? She didn't. She lacked that deep, deep self-love. She was a sweet person. She really was, but she still was lacking in that self-love and could not give that to herself. Right.
And really, there's so many directions that this conversation could go, and we could be here for another 6 hours.
Yeah.
The thing is, we're going to take some notes of some of the topics that have come out of what we've chatted about today, because it's really just the tip of the iceberg when we start to learn about how powerful we actually are.
Yeah.
And, you know, when trauma happens to us, however we perceive that trauma, it then becomes
good morning, Louise,
part of us, but we then question what was wrong with me. What's wrong with me that has happened, that particular event or series of events has happened to me? What's wrong with me?
Yeah.
So this ties into the idea that there is no failure. It's only feedback, and everyone's doing the best they can with what they have. So as long as you're willing and open to digging into and unpacking every last facet of you with regards to how it was, right? And I use that very, very specifically, how it was that occurred, that you experienced, as opposed to why, then you're on the right path. You're on the path to discovering what part of you actually contributed to that experience, potentially.
And I'm gonna throw an and in there. There are cases where people could say, in this life, in this incarnation, like, I don't understand how I can't love myself or feel loved, because I had great parents. I had great this. I felt they were good people. But I still don't feel loved, right? Or feel like I'm worthy of love. And so that, in that case, that's where it gets really interesting, because you may discover through the process, at least that Kevin and I do with people, you may discover that it has nothing to do with this life, that it was a past life incarnation where you took on that belief based on an experience in a past life that got I want to say indoctrinated, but really got brought in,
lodged in your energetic self,
lodged in your soul, right? Your energy in your mind field, and it came with you, right, into this incarnation. And then when people are amazed, you know, like when we do this, because they're just like, I didn't even know I had past lives, right? It's like, if that's okay, it doesn't matter.
But this is where this can go. And the thing is that we've seen countless examples of people that we've assisted in this process that have no clue. We've dealt with extremely religious people that may have not consciously believe that this energy has existed.
Don't even believe in past lifehoods.
But as soon as you ask the question, the unconscious mind, it comes up with the answer. Oh, past life, how many? 432. Oh my God. Well, let's go there, because what that equals to us only is the way your mind needs you to know how it's holding that issue in place. That's it.
Yeah.
Do I have proof of past life? No. Do I care? Not really. What I care about is the fact that your unconscious mind is telling you that information, be it genealogical, be it even in the womb.
Okay, I want to talk. We're going to go over the time that
we always do. Come on.
All right. But I love what Louisa said here, right? I love love, and I'm blessed with love from my entourage. I am overfilled with love. That's awesome. Like, wonderful for you.
And you know what? We love you too.
Yeah.
So now, you can add that to your bucket.
Yes. Now, here's the question you might want to ponder. All right. What if you weren't getting that love from people outside yourself anymore? What if you weren't? Then what? Then what?
Good question.
Because in my experience, if our feeling of being loved is coming all from outside
is
ourselves,
conditional.
Yeah. And it's coming all from outside of ourselves. Okay. It's not necessarily self-love, right? When that love is no longer there, or you don't feel like it would, I would feel so empty. Okay.
Imagine that.
Okay.
Lou.
Now we're getting somewhere.
That's right.
Right? Because that's the thing. As long as we are dependent,
it's conditional on
those outside of ourselves to give us the love that we can't or won't give to ourselves, then we are always going to be, what's the word I'm looking for?
Seeking it
susceptible, right? To losing it, to losing that feeling of being loved.
But
that's why it is so unbelievably important for every one of us to get back in touch with that truly unconditional, compassionate self-love. You could even call that love from Creator, Spirit, God, whatever you want to call it. It's that true, pure, genuine love that absolutely nobody or no thing in the world could ever shake. Ever. Right? That's the kind of love that we all should be striving to get back in touch with.
And guess what, folks?
And I say back because I know there was a time our souls have felt it, And
guess what? We are the only organism on the planet that has the capacity to self-regulate by choice. The emotions, the thoughts, everything that we experience, we're the only ones. Right? So if you don't think you're powerful, guess again.
Oh, you are.
Right? Guess again, because here's the thing, you can choose at any moment to experience the feeling of love.
Yep.
Or post-traumatic stress, or anxiety, or it's your choice.
And we're supposed to feel our emotions. Feel them powerfully. It's fine. Feel them fully. That's okay. Just move on. Feel them and then let them go. Release it and let it go and move on. And if you're feeling that there's some emotions, especially a negative emotion that is holding on and you just can't seem to let it go, right? Then you got to go inside and you got to see what's causing that to hold on there, right?
And guess what? When you are that, if that is just who you are, you will continue to get more of that from out here.
You mean love?
Everything.
Yeah.
When you project out gratitude, when you project out love, when you project out compassion,
abundance,
prosperity, all of those things, when that is just part of who you are, guess what?
Yeah.
It comes back.
Yeah.
Because that's the way the universe is set up. It's arranged that way.
Yeah.
To conspire to our betterment. Even if we can say that, because that's also a judgment that we're not good right now.
Dear Lord. Honestly,
that's another topic.
Yeah. And I mean, this is where humanity's consciousness is going, right? This is where we need to strive to is get to that higher place, right? I mean, we're not perfect, okay? Like we aren't.
Hey.
We aren't perfect.
Hey.
Hate to tell you.
Settle down.
No, we aren't. Hey, you told me to let go of my perfectionism.
Oh. Yeah, you got the shenanigans this morning trying to get this podcast set up.
That's not perfectionism. That's just having certain standards that I would like to be met. I don't think there's anything wrong. I don't feel at all that there's anything wrong with having certain standards, right? So I just don't, there's nothing wrong with that. Standards, having certain standards that, you know, as long as it's not causing a detriment to your life. I mean, if you have standards that are just unachievable because you've set standards that are just completely out of this world and just unreasonable, well, then you got to adapt. You got to change that up, right?
Mm-hmm.
If it's causing you misery, you got to change that up.
So we have a ton of different sort of things we can chat about just that came out of today.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is we're going to start bringing those together. And
you're welcome, Louise. Listen, we love doing this, you guys.
Oh,
like this is like
spectacular.
We
want to thank you for helping us be part of our purpose on this planet.
And your feedback,
yes,
okay, and your engagement with us it pushes us to do this even more and to want to be here, because this is what we've been saying all along. It's about us giving value and being of service to you, right? And it feels good for us. Yeah, is it a little bit selfish? Of course it is, because it feels good to us to be able to do that for you.
Yes.
Because this is me and Kevin. Like, you want to talk about like your nature, like this is just our nature. Honestly, it really is. So this is what we love to do. So thank you all for being here, and please spread it around. And like we said, go to our friggin' website, you guys, and sign up for that email, because we need to have that outside of the social media space, right? We need to have that connection. So I want to share this because Nelda took the time to write this. I was the oldest of 7. My parents had favorites.
Well, Nelda, I'm going to encourage you, like, seriously, go to the heavyshitclub.com.
Yeah.
Right? Get into that email, because it's going to help. And this is actually what we're truly passionate about. We're truly passionate about being able to share our transformative gifts with everyone. Okay? Because we know, right? We know that when other people's energy shifts and we start adding that collective healing, right, to the collective energy of humanity, then magic happens.
Yeah. And the other thing,
magic is just going to be part of the norm, because consciousness on this planet is rising
quickly,
very, very fast.
Things are changing very quickly. And we
have to start shining the light on our own dark places.
That's the way we're going to do this.
That's right.
Right? Again, you can't stay stuck in your negative, limiting narrative, right? Or stay angry, or stay in those emotions that are keeping you severely depressed, or whatever it might be. You can't stay stuck in those old past paradigms that continue to hold you down and keep your vibration low, and think that somehow you're going to be a light shining on the world.
So join us.
You can't do it. We got to do this together. But I want to say something. Just wait, Kev. Stop. I was acknowledging Nelda.
I know. Okay. It's very important.
So I wanted to say this, right? Nelda, this is the question I would ask you, okay? If it's okay. I hope it's okay. I suppose if you've written all that, it's because you're okay with sharing. You're open. So what I would say to you is this. I agree with Kevin. Sign up for the Heavy Shit Club, because then at least you're going to have that peace. And I would
follow there too.
Yes. And I would also say, how good would it feel if you didn't have to give that your energy to fight all the time? How much of a relief, or how much better would that feel? You don't have to answer right now. I just want this to be something you contemplate. How would that feel if you didn't have to be fighting all the time? Because trust me when I tell you, if you're carrying around that program of I have to fight all the time for whatever, guess what? You're going to constantly find those, you're going to be in those circumstances where you have to be fighting. It's exhausting. It
and
truly,
you know what?
truly is exhausting.
You know what's really cool?
And your energy could be much better used in better places, trust me.
And you know what's
Much
really
better
cool
used.
about all of this? There is no right time other than now to start to transform yourself.
That's right.
We did a
Well, we only have now, right?
As a quick example, we did a one of our weekend programs back in 2014. And one of the ladies that was there was 80 years old.
Yes.
She happened to be an international nurse, retired international nurse.
I wonder if she's still alive.
Who had incidentally shot AK-47s with Colonel Gaddafi's brother or son or something like that in the friggin' desert.
Yeah.
All right.
She was a cool chick.
She had experiences in that weekend that she had never in her life imagined or had experienced before.
Yeah.
And it was so powerful for her, even just the first day and a half, that she wasn't going to come for the last day because she didn't think it could get any better.
Yeah.
So guess what? Change and transformational change is just a decision away.
Yeah. And it is never too late, you guys.
It's never too late.
Don't ever believe it's too late. Trust me when I tell you, even as a medium, right, where I can communicate with the spirits that are on the other side, right, in that other dimension. There is no any work you do, okay, any of that work you can do in this incarnation, the better it is, right? The how do I want to say that? I would say the higher the vibration you're bringing with you when you cross over, right? And potentially go into another incarnation. Maybe we won't, right? Maybe we're just going to cross over. And as everything's shifting and changing energetically, in the cosmos right now, like maybe we're just not going to come back into another incarnation on planet Earth. I don't know. I can't tell you that, but I can tell you that anything you can do now, right, to enlighten yourself, to raise your consciousness, to transcend all of these old patterns that we drag along with us, even if they do come from past generations in your family through your DNA, or if they come through past lifehoods, whatever it might be. Clean it up.
So we're going to leave you with this.
It's powerful.
Resistance always causes pain. I want you to think very carefully about how this applies to you in your current perception of reality. Yeah. Okay? Resistance always causes pain. What is fighting? Fighting is a resistance between 2 points.
Yeah.
Okay? And there will always be something to fight until we say no more. All right? And I will say this, Nelda, in respect of this little...
This is not a judgment.
Not at all.
All.
In respect of this little conversation is that a lot of times our mind and our body is afraid of what we could potentially become if we let that thing go, because even stronger than the fight for survival is the fight to keep things familiar, even if that familiar is fighting and painful
and uncomfortable,
etc.
It's familiar.
So we're going to leave you with that food for thought.
Yeah.
Please share your comments and thoughts and whatever that comes to you on that.
Yeah.
We strongly encourage everybody to come on, share your email with us so that we can stay connected.
Yeah.
Because we want to make sure that people that we bring value to are able to connect with us in other ways off of these social platforms. So,
yeah. But in the meantime, since we're on these social platforms,
let's tools, right?
Let's make the algorithm happy. So like this live video, like this show, like it.
You'll get it.
And if you could share it, I'd appreciate that too, because we would like to see more people coming on and engaging with us when we're live. And if you're watching the replay, we equally value you too. And please comment as well and share, because we seriously love the feedback, right? We love the feedback. So We
love you all. Thank you so much for being here.
We do love you all. We genuinely do.
We love
Thank
our
you
conversations.
So much. We love our conversations. Yeah. And you know,
more to come.
As you can see with the mess behind us on our island, you know, we're in the process of packing up. So just bear with us, I would say, over the rest of this month as we get those things sorted out and you know, make our way west. So we will do our best to stay consistent with the Tuesday and Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern.
Even if it's in the truck driving.
Even if it's in the truck driving, we might do that too.
Damn right.
We'll see.
Damn right.
We'll see. But we are speaking next Wednesday night,
which we're going to try and live stream as well.
We are going to try and live stream that talk that we're giving next Wednesday night. It's going to be a great event.
We will be discussing unity.
Yes. And what's next for humanity.
And what's next.
It's going to be great. So if you want to be on that live, you can. Just let us know. Just put in the comments or DM me and say, add me to that list with your email, please. And we'll try to do our best to do that live, and we'll get it out, get that out, get you on the list.
Hopefully by then we'll have the live stream capacity on our website.
Yeah.
And then you can just go there.
Yeah. So yes, have a great day. And hopefully we'll see you guys on Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern.
Yes.
And we will be on time just like we were today. 10 o'clock on the dot. Hell yeah.
Wow.
Good job.
That's
Woo! All right.
There's a yardstick for you.
Totally. Okay.
Cheers, everybody.
Have a great rest of your week. Bye.